Look at those pretty green polyps. Aren't they beautiful? Yeah, well, they may be beautiful, but they're evil. And I'm going to tell you why. Because something bad happened to me, and I'm about 95% sure it's because of these green polyps. Well, they're cousins who were spread all over my tank and who were on a rock, and I thought they were dead. So going back to the beginning, I'm starting to prepare for the rescape of the 29-gallon cube. And this is the temporary tank I've set up. I've put some rocks in here that were just dry rocks that I've had kicking around, and I like them, so I'm going to use them. That in the middle there is red wire algae that I'm going to try to find a way to keep in the new tank. There's also a rock there with some of the small purple polyps on it. If I can isolate them, I'll keep those as well. But the rest of the tank right now is empty, and the reason for that is I'm saving space for a big rock that needs to be cleaned. Here are the other rocks that I've got in here right now. The large piece in the center there, the relatively flat one, was in the 29, and it was covered with green star polyps, of course, and also with the evil green polyps. But I was able to get those cleaned off relatively easily. Take special note how clear the water is. If you look carefully, now you'll see on the left-hand side a large rock and a bunch of foam on top of the water and cloudy water. There's the large rock. That large rock made me sick. It's been in this tank for about an hour at this point, and it went from crystal clear to clouded to all of this foam on the top. So I think what's happened is putting this rock in here has immediately put this tank into a cycle. My plan was to take this rock and clean it off with a wire brush. Because it had dead green polyps, evil green polyps on it, and dead cabbage leather on it that was all dried out from when I removed it from the 29 originally, I thought it was fine to take a wire brush and just scrub it off. So I thought I planned well. I put it in my kitchen sink on top of a plastic bag, got my wire brush, put my glasses and my gloves on, and I started going to town. Within maybe 3 minutes, I started smelling a really acidic, acrid smell. And shortly after that, my nostrils started to burn. I thought, well, something's up with this. It never even occurred to me. I think what was happening was the wire brush was releasing dust into the air, which makes total sense now I think about it, but it was nothing that I planned on. And because of that, I believe I ingested a small amount of that dust, and what happened next was not pretty. So I should have stopped what I was doing, but I went and got a surgical mask and put it on so I could finish the job. And when I was finished, I took the rock, put it in the aquarium, and you can see the results there. I immediately told my husband what had gone on, what the problem might be if I was sick, and then I went to bed because I was already starting to feel very uncomfortable. When I brushed my teeth, all I could taste was salt. So it's quite possible all I ingested was airborne salt dust. But it's also possible there was a little bit of Palytoxin in there because I was scrubbing away at those dead, evil green polyps. What I knew about Palytoxin was that if you're still alive after 30 minutes, it's not a fatal dose, or at least that's what I gathered from what I had read. So that's why I went to bed, and through the night I had chills and then tremors and then vomiting. I never had abdominal pains or anything like that. I wondered, could it be the flu? But I didn't have flu symptoms. In the morning I had a slight fever, 99.6, but that was pretty much it. By the morning, the worst of it was over, but I was so weak I couldn't even sit up. So that weakness lasted an entire day, and now 48 hours later, I'm finally well enough to at least eat. I still do have a cough, my throat is a bit sore, my nostrils are burning, but I no longer really wonder whether I should be getting to the hospital. The unfortunate thing is, in this tank, I'm not sure whether I've lost the zoos that were on this rock, or the red macroalgae, or even my Kenya tree. because I've been so sick I haven't been able to even look at it. I'm now debating whether to even keep the large rock that caused all this trouble. I may have to get a sledgehammer and break off the bits where I could not get the polyps off. So I thought I had a plan. I wore my glasses and my gloves, I put plastic in my sink, and I went at it with a wire brush, and it was at arm's length away from me. But obviously I didn't think of everything, and when I think back now, I cannot believe how careless and stupid I was to actually not realize that there would be dust released from the wire brush. You can see in this tank now the carbon that I put in is starting to have some effect. The foam is considerably less than it was. The water does look like it's clearing up a bit, but I have decisions to make. So now I'm a little demotivated when it comes to cleaning up this tank. I need to remove these green polyps, these evil green polyps, and unfortunately they're encrusting on most of the main rockwork in the middle here. I'll be sorry to lose these rocks, but if I can't clean them off, then I'm just going to have to discard them. There are yellow brick road and hippie zoos growing on the front of the main rock in the middle, and I'm hoping that I can at least frag some of those and save them because they're growing really well. They do well in this tank, and I would like to keep them because I like them. All I can say is please, 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 this scared the living shit out of me, and I really wouldn't want it to happen to anybody else. Please be careful.